Hey everyone, this is Saul from Three Kingdoms Games, coming to you today with Ravnica Allegiance Spoilers Part 2. Now, Part 1 is already up. There's a link in the description box down below. Please go check that out. I had a lot of fun with that video. But I do need to do a little bookkeeping. Super Aven Nation, who commented on my last video, did point out I got something wrong. And that is Lavinia. Lavinia's first ability only works on non-creatures. I said it would work on Galta. That's my bad. Sorry for that mistake. Thank you, Super Aven Nation, one more time for pointing this out to me. Now, we will continue with Azorius since we are already here. So, one of the newest cards they got is Emergency Power. On here, you can see their new ability, Addendum. The way Addendum works is if you play a card during your main phase that has Addendum, it has an additional ability. So, for Emergency Power, cost 7. Both players shuffle their hands into their library, draw 7 new cards. If you cast it with Addendum, so during one of your main phases, you can put a 7 cost permanent into play. Now, I don't like this card. I'm not even going to beat around the bush. Cost 7 to shuffle your hand into your library and draw 7 isn't that good. Especially because in most control matchups, I'm trying to get card advantage. Because if I have card advantage, I'm probably going to win. I have more answers. Why would I play something to let me shuffle my hand in, draw 7 new cards, and let my opponent also draw 7, and now we're back on the same footing? Even if I do it with Addendum so I can drop something big, it's just, I don't see it working. Now, I could be wrong. I'm more than happy to admit that. But I only think this is going to see maybe Commander play. Because, it's fun. You know, doing this to everyone. Also, Addendum, I've heard some mixed reviews on. I personally don't like it because I'm used to blue being the play a land, pass, and let them do stuff. And then, react accordingly. Other people think this will make the matchups more fair, less boring, because subsequently they're actually playing stuff during their turn. The other card that we've seen with Addendum so far is Sphinx's Insight, but I don't like it, so I'm not even going to show it. It's pay 4, draw 2, or pay 4, draw 2, gain 2 life. Really, not that good a card. So for Rakdos, Bedevil, I love this card. It is instant speed, 2 black and a red, destroy target artifact, creature, or planeswalker. Instant speed removal is always good. Instant speed removal of a planeswalker is even better. So yeah, Dreadboard at instant speed. This is going to have Teferi's name on it in Standard. Now Teferi players can't tap out to drop him like they used to. Because a lot of them would tap out to drop him, untap 2, and now they have mana open for whatever they're going to do to protect it. Now they can't do that. This also was probably put in there as, a way to give Rakdos, or you're probably going to see some Jund, or maybe even Naya, but Naya doesn't matter for this one in Standard, to have them have answers for some of this Jeskai control and stuff that's floating around. Now onward to Simic. We have seen Simic's new ability, as you can see here on Zagana, Utopian Speaker. It's Adapt. When a creature doesn't have +1 counters on it, if it has Adapt, you can pay whatever the mana cost is before the Adapt, and you'll gain that many +1 counters. So, for instance, with Zagana, Adapt 4, you pay the 6, you get the 4 +1 counters. Now, this card is insane. 4 for a 4/4 is really good. It's on curve. And when it comes into play, you might as well read you draw a card, because as long as you control a creature with a +1 counter, you draw a card. Ixalan was a thing. Merfolks all have +1 counters nowadays in Standard for sure. This will draw you a card. 90% of the time. The other half of it is all your creatures with +1 counters have Trample. So if you adapt her, you have an 8/8 with Trample that's giving all your other stuff Trample. So yet another Merfolk kind of Lord-like effect. So when you mix that with like Kumena, possibly giving all your stuff +1 counters, and let's be real, Merfolk is more of a mid-range deck. 6 mana is not unreasonable to get to. This is a really solid card. You combine that with stuff like, Hadana's Climb, and this is going to go, insane. For those of you who don't remember Hadana's Climb, the flip side of it. So on the first side, you give out +1 counters. If something has 3 or more, it flips over. On the flip side, you can give something flying and +X, where X is its power. So for instance, with Zagana, that's a 16/16 flying trample, because she still has the plus counter, so things are still a trample. Now, this card's insane. I love it. Simic, you also got the first split card, which is incubation on the first half, so sorcery speed, reveal the top 5, well, not reveal, look at the top 5 of your library, pick a creature from among them, put it into your hand, randomize the rest, put it back on the bottom. This is really good. I like the idea of being able to dig 4 creatures for 1 mana, and the fact that it's hybrid mana, I can see this fitting into any blue and whatever other color deck, or green and whatever other color deck. Even mono green might splash this just to dig for their answers. Carnage Tyrant, Skultas, whatever matchup they're in. And on the flip side of it, you have instant speed, incongruity. Cost 3, exile target creature. Its controller gets a 3/3 green frog lizard creature token. I like this card actually a lot because 3 cost exile removal is really good because, even if it leaves them a body afterwards, exiling, let's say, a Lyra Dawnbringer, so 5/5 with lifelink to give them a 3/3 with no other abilities, is worth it for you because I can deal with that 3/3 a little bit easier than with those 5/5. You can also break up other combos if there's combo creatures and things like that. So I like this card actually a fair amount. Now, Gruul. Oh my god, Gruul. You got spoilers and you got huge spoilers. So I'm only going to talk about one card in particular, and that's this one, this insanity that they made, which is Gruul Spellbreaker. So on it, you can see your new ability, Riot. I don't understand why they called it Riot. Rakdos, Lord of Riots, is over on the other side. Just saying. But when you play a creature with Riot, you get a choice. Either against haste till end of turn, or a +1/+1 counter. So that's huge. So that means for most things, it's going to end up breaking the whole mana curve cost ratio they kind of put into game development. So for 3, you get a 3/3 or potentially a 4/4 because of the Riot with Trample. That's already really good. But the flip side of it is that, well, the other ability on it, I should say the flip side, is you and it, on your turn, have hexproof. So that means you drop it, give it haste, swing in for lethal with all your stuff, and now you don't have to worry about your opponent dropping a Settle the Wreckage on you. That's huge. This is going to cut down on the control matchups and make them do stuff during their turn more. But from what I can tell, that's kind of what they want this set to be like. Control is going to be a lot more of doing it on your turn. But this is still bonkers, the fact that you can do all this with this one card. So there you have it. That's the Ravnica Allegiance Spoilers Part 2. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It's an easy way to support us, as well as hit the notification button so you don't miss any videos when they come up. Follow our blogs at threekingdomsgames.com. Those come out weekly, as well as follow us on all major social media, and that's in the description box down below. And you know what? If you ever want to play a game, you can feel free to drop in the store. We'll always entertain you. We have a store in Toronto and a store in Markham. If you want to register for your pre-releases or pre-order boxes, you're more than welcome to. I'll see you next time.